What's going on, world? It's Alex Miner here, and I'm making this quick video because today I saw a video come out on one of my favorite YouTube channels from one of my favorite YouTube personalities or YouTubers, Curtis King, and it was posing a question or trying to answer a question that I myself have had to answer many times over the years, and that is whether or not a producer, hip-hop producer, music producer specifically, should go to audio engineering school. Now, I did. I went to Full Sail University in Orlando back in 2004, and I'll say for me personally, yes, it was worth going. Do I think every producer should go? Absolutely not. Everything depends on your personal situation, and specifically, the way I'll put it is like this. One of the reasons that you often hear people down Full Sail or down schools like Full Sail is because they say, well, they don't guarantee you a job when you come out and it's so expensive. No school guarantees you a job when you come out. Almost no school, especially not a university. They're not going to guarantee you a job when you come out. They're going to guarantee that they teach you skills and point you in the right direction for finding a job in the field that you are interested in. And that's exactly what Full Sail does. Now, they've got some great programs, they've got some great teachers, they do a lot to prepare you. And so for me personally, it was worth every single penny. Now, was it expensive? Yeah, it was expensive. I went for their 1 year, it was 12-month associate's degree program, and it cost a little over 30 grand. But if you think about it, a private university for that same amount of time, like basically the equivalent of 2 years, a lot of private universities cost the same amount of money. And if you go for their bachelor's program, the amount of money that you're going to spend there is very equivalent to many private universities, and they are an accredited university. So for me, the reasons why it was worth it were because I actually wanted to learn audio engineering. Yes, I was rapping, yes, I was producing, but I was also very passionate about the art of audio recording and mixing and mastering, and I wanted to learn more about it. I wanted to get better at it. I wanted to perfect my sound, and I learned a lot, man. I had the opportunity to talk with and learn from producers and engineers who had been in the industry for years, who had gold and platinum plaques all over their walls and like really knew what they were talking about. Now, when I came out, did I jump straight into the industry? No. But that's because of decisions that I made that took my life in a different direction. I stayed in Orlando because I was working on music with some people here and I didn't want to leave. But I had other friends who did leave. And one in particular, he moved down to Miami. He wound up getting an internship at Circle House Studios, which is one of the biggest studios in Miami. Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, pretty much anybody who's anybody in hip-hop or R&B that comes through Miami comes to Circle House. He ended up working his way up to be an assistant. People really liked him. Then he decided to move to Atlanta, and now he's working at a private studio in Atlanta. Has been for, gosh, I don't even know how many years now. And last time I talked to him, he told me he was charging $750 a day for, his major label clients. And he's killing it. He's always busy, man. And he's worked with Jeezy. He's worked with pretty much any big Atlanta artist has come through his studio, and he's worked with them. And he also worked for Grand Hustle for a little while. So, I mean, he did it, man. Came out of Full Sail. We were there at the exact same time, but his life decisions took him in a different path. As for me, right now, I mostly do music for myself and, a few people in my crew. But my time at Full Sail led me working first into television. I worked at a news station doing audio for that. And then from there, I jumped into the live events industry doing sound. And now I've transitioned into more of a video role. But as you can see from the studio behind me, I'm still working on music. Now, is most of that work paid? No, but I make enough from doing what I do in the live events industry that I'm not really worried about that. So Full Sail taught me a lot. It helped me to get better at my craft, but I never walked into it expecting them to hand me a job when I got out. And you shouldn't either, because nothing in this world is promised. It's all about what you make of it, man. And if you're thinking about going to Full Sail or school like Full Sail, this is what I would tell you. If you're expecting them to just hand you something, don't go. Walk away. You're going for the wrong reasons. Like, it's what you make of it. Like, you have opportunities to network, you have opportunities to meet great people and build relationships with industry veterans who can help you once you get out if you form the right relationships. They do have a placement department that gets alerted to opportunities all over the country, and if you stay in touch with your placement advisor, they may help you. They've sent me a lot of information about opportunities. A lot of them I don't take, but some I have taken, and they worked out for me. What else would I say? I would say only go to Full Sail or someplace like Full Sail if you're walking in the door with a plan. If you're going because you're trying to get your parents off your back, or because you think it's the only type of school rather than a regular university that you might be interested in, like, I went because I wanted to get better at my craft, point blank period. And my plan was to go to school, get out, and start out being an audio engineer. Like, if you're trying to go there just to be a music producer, I'd say you can learn as much on your own and from YouTube. They do have a music production program now, but I honestly wouldn't pay for that. Like, I've learned probably just as much about music production from actually doing it and being out in the world and working with artists as they could teach you in a classroom. And even if you want to get technical about it, like learning notation and tutorials and stuff, traditional music programs are better for that. But if you honestly love audio engineering and you want to be an audio engineer, even if that's not all you want to do, if that's part of your craft but not all of your craft, you can go and you will get a lot out of it. But if your goal is just to be the next hot thing, music producer, don't go. Save your money. I'd rather you invest that money into equipment or promoting yourself, marketing yourself, going to events and meeting people and networking and your gear, rather than racking up that debt, because a lot of people can't afford to go to Full Sail or schools like that without racking up student loan debt. So, is it worth it? Yes, in the right situation. Should everybody go? No, because it's not for everybody. One of my best friends in life, I met there, but he ended up dropping out after 3 months, I think, because he figured out that it wasn't for him. He's a music producer, he's a rapper, he's actually signed to Dr. Dre now, and he figured out it wasn't for him because he's not concerned with being technically perfect. For him, it's more about vibe and inspiration and just being the best artist that he can be. Like me, I'm a nerd, I'm a scientist. I like all the technical aspects and making sure that a mix is, perfect. Him, as long as the vibe is right, that's all he's going for. So if you're that type of producer or you're that type of artist, then don't waste your time, man. Spend your time in your home studio, in real studios, or take the old school traditional route of learning by getting an internship and just learning the ropes, being there, because there's a lot of people that still come up that way. So it can be worth it in the right situation, but no, it's not for everybody. I would never tell all people who want to be producers or want to be engineers to go that route. Truthfully, it's a luxury. If you have the resources and it's not going to put you in a horrible life situation to spend that money to get that education, go for it, because you can learn so much. You can walk in the door not knowing anything about audio engineering and come out knowing a lot, especially if you really dedicate yourself. You spend that extra time getting to know your teachers and getting to know your peers, and you spend your time wisely and dedicate yourself to the craft. But I would not tell everybody to try to do it, man. It's not for everybody. And the reason you hear so many horror stories about people saying, oh, well, I couldn't get a job once I came out, or they didn't help me, or it put me in bad situations, because a lot of people came in expecting to be handed something. A lot of people came in knowing that spending that amount of money would put them in a not great situation, but they did it anyway. And I mean, you just got to think it through, man. You really got to sit down and analyze your life and say, seriously, is this for me? Is this the right decision for my life, personally, professionally, economically? And if the answer is yes, then go for it, man. Do it. But if it's really gonna make life tough for you, save your money. There are other ways to learn. But if you have the resources, go for it and make the best out of it. Dedicate yourself. Talk to people. That's the most important thing. Talking to people and networking and doing that work outside of the classroom as well as in the classroom. Because it can be a great experience. And I've met some of the best people that I've ever known in life there. But it's definitely not for everybody.